Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about creatures found within the Warhammer 40K universe as we get into the Killian's Bane. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. And of course, if you have any suggestions or want any topic related to Warhammer 40K created into a video, please comment down below. Give us your request. With that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Killian's Bane. The Killian's Bane is one of the most fearsome predators of the scattered wetlands of the infamous death world of Burnscour in the Corynus Expanse. The creature gained its now infamous name many standard years ago, when the rogue trader Augustus Killian, the beast hunter famed across the Calixian sector and into the depths of the Expanse, took his leave on Burnscour to show off his prowess to a gathering of the sector's nobilites shimmering behind protective power fields. He claimed to possess a new archaeotech discovery that he would unveil, though exactly what it was he would not say, other than it would result in a spectacular display. Killian confidently strode to the nearby water's edge, wielding only his family's heirloom power saber. He then produced an oddly shaped crystalline object, which shone with white-blue light as he waved it over his head, to the crowd's delight. Vid captures recovered later show faces quickly turning to terror as a worm larger than ever seen before rose out of the swamp and far above the trees. For a long, dreadful moment, nothing moved except for the swamp water dripping onto the stunned trader. Then it fell to take Killian between jaws, now stretched wide enough to swallow a lander. Theories vary if the mysterious device had somehow summoned the beast from the depths, or was designed to help him vanquish it, or perhaps protect him somehow. He was simply gone in a moment, as the beast dove back into his dank home, the massive tail carelessly shattering the power field generator and plasteel tents surrounding the panicked crowd. Some insisted that Killian glowed an unearthly metallic sheen in the brief moment before he was engulfed, but this was never sustained in the vid capture. House Killian was suddenly ruined in a single day, losing not only their master, but also the ancient and invaluable warrant of trade he had always famously carried in a small stasis cylinder on his wide sash as a point of pride. Many explorers have since also lost their lives attempting to find the creature, knowing that inside is not only what could be a priceless device, but also an actual warrant, which would allow them to establish their own dynasty. The tale spread throughout Port Wander's many taverns, and from there into the Calixis sector, and soon the notoriety made it a creature in high demand for its illicit fighting pits and beast arenas across the region. Seeing their favorite gladiator eaten alive and then betting if they can escape before perishing is often a highlight of much such affairs. The creature's dorsal spikes are often covered with clumps of moss and other vegetation, giving the serpent a more shaggy appearance than other scaled creatures possess. Tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus xenobiologists have observed specimens deliberately diving through thick flora to drag away clumps. These plants provide a natural disguise, enough to help them stalk their prey and fool most of the larger predators. The mouth is perhaps the beast's most distinctive feature, as the jaws are only connected to the rest of the creature's skeleton with long, elastic bands of sinew and muscle. This allows the beast to open its maw extraordinarily wide, letting it swallow even the oversized creatures of Burnscour. Those it cannot swallow, it bites apart with rows of powerful fangs, each strike able to tear away huge swaths of flesh. The creature is amphibious, preferring areas with calm water, though some have been sighted along deep rivers. It can breathe underwater for extended durations, but maintains most of its life either floating across swamp lakes or slithering across the ground. Beastmasters from the sector have tracked some of the Bane several kilometers from the wetlands, either stalking prey or moving to new habitats, indicating that they can survive out of the water for long periods as well. For a primarily water-based creature, it can move with surprising speed across dry land, and is fast enough to run down many beasts. Most Banes are relatively sedentary, calmly gliding across the stagnant waterways, with occasional dives to search for prey swimming beneath them. A Bane normally attacks in a swift motion, ideally attempting to engulf the quarry in a single stroke. The attack is terrifying, as the Bane can rear up to a towering height as part of its lunge. If near water, it also endeavors to swallow as much liquid as possible at the same time. This accomplishes two things, helping drown its victim, but also allowing the Bane to settle rapidly to the bottom of the swamp, safely obscured from other predators. If on land, or attacking aquatic life, the Bane's powerful musculature steps in to help crush the life from its prey. Once subdued, the Bane regurgitates the remains to rip them into more digestible chunks, and then swallows them again. Luckily for those creatures sharing its habitat, a Bane feeds relatively infrequently, and a single large meal lasts it for more than a solar day. Banes reproduce by releasing huge swarms of tiny offspring, mere centimeters in length, into the swamp, where most are quickly eaten by other predators. Even these miniature Banes are dangerous though, as if they are not killed when consumed, they can continue to grow and eventually bore their way out via their serrated teeth. These small progeny often attach onto larger creatures, leeching off blood and flesh until large enough to drop off and eat on their own. And those were 40 facts on the Killian's Bane. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, share this with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever social media you use to communicate with your playing group. Now, this isn't a creature that you can actually play with in Warhammer 40K, the tabletop game, but if you play Dark Heresy, you could encounter this creature during your role-playing. How many of you guys actually do the role-playing? I have a feeling that a lot of our viewers are people that play Dark Heresy, because the lore usually is a lot heavier within Dark Heresy than it is with Warhammer 40K. But just out of curiosity, comment down below. Let me know if you play Dark Heresy, and if you do, how's the game going? I mean, I've been talking to the Sound Alchemist and seeing maybe we can get a game going, learning the rules, but I mean, we can't do it just with me and him. We would need more people, and it's kind of a struggle to find people who are willing, number one, to play the game, number two, know the lore behind Dark Heresy, and then number three, have them be exciting and viewable. So that's pretty difficult, but you know, if you play, comment down below, let me know what you think of the game. And again, if you have any other creatures that you guys would like us to create a video about, please comment down below. I know the last video that we put out, I think the beginning of this week or the end of last week, we were talking about the, was it the Chimera? I believe it was the Chimera, and I said it was the most dangerous creature in Warhammer 40K, and you guys said no, Tyranids are tougher. What do you think about these guys? Is the Bane more dangerous than a Tyranid? I mean, as a whole, the Hive Mind, yes, of course, it's more dangerous than the Killian's Bane, but if it was one of these guys versus what's a good match? A Termagant, who would win? Comment down below. I know that it's very difficult to put anything in competition with a Tyranid, especially with the Hive Mind. The closest thing would be another sentient being or another sentient race like the Orcs. Orcs versus Tyranids would always be fun. But comment down below if you think of any demon or creature in Warhammer 40K that could defeat a Tyranid. And again, guys, if you like our stuff, if you like our videos, please help us out on Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. If you can't, we completely understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing this with your friends on Facebook or Twitter, it helps us out and it helps us create more videos for you. With that said, I'll see you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.